The stage was already filled with excitement when Zhang Ling stepped into the spotlight, completely unaware that one unexpected moment would soon become the center of attention. Fans had gathered to watch the stars interact, hoping for a few memorable moments, but nobody expected the atmosphere to become so tense. Zhang Ling looked calm and confident as he greeted the audience. His smile immediately brought cheers from the crowd, while cameras captured every movement. Everything seemed perfectly normal until another female guest walked toward him during the stage segment. As she approached Zhang Ling, the distance between them became noticeably smaller. She stood unusually close while they prepared for the next activity, creating an instant wave of reactions among the audience. Zhang Ling appeared slightly surprised by how close she was standing, but he remained polite and professional. He smiled and continued participating in the event as cameras focused on the pair. However, fans watching from the audience quickly noticed another important detail. Tian Xiwei was also on stage, and her expression seemed to change for just a moment. At first, Tian Xiwei appeared relaxed and cheerful. She was smiling while watching the activity, but when she noticed the other woman standing so close to Zhang Ling, her expression became noticeably quieter. The cameras seemed to catch that tiny reaction at exactly the right moment. Within seconds, fans began wondering whether Tian Xiwei had felt a little uncomfortable. Of course, a facial expression can never prove what someone is thinking. Tian Xiwei never openly said that she was jealous, and there was no confirmed romantic meaning behind the moment. Still, the brief interaction was enough to make fans extremely curious. Zhang Ling continued talking with the female guest, trying to keep the atmosphere light. He laughed at something she said, which caused the audience to cheer again. Meanwhile, Tian Xiwei watched the exchange from nearby. Her expression seemed more serious than before, although she soon smiled again when the attention returned to the entire group. The contrast between the two moments quickly became one of the most discussed parts of the event. Fans replayed the footage, trying to understand every glance and reaction. Some viewers believed Tian Xiwei looked slightly jealous. Others argued that she was simply concentrating on the stage activity and that fans were reading too much into a completely ordinary interaction. The uncertainty only made the moment more interesting. Because Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei have such noticeable chemistry in public appearances, even the smallest interaction between them often attracts enormous attention. As the event continued, Zhang Ling eventually moved closer to the group rather than remaining beside the female guest. That small movement immediately caught the attention of people watching. Tian Xiwei then smiled again, making the atmosphere feel much lighter. The tension that fans had noticed seemed to disappear almost instantly. Still, the earlier moment remained unforgettable. Social media users began sharing clips and screenshots, focusing particularly on Tian Xiwei's brief expression. Some fans jokingly described the scene as a jealousy moment, while others reminded everyone that there was no official confirmation of such feelings. The most interesting part was that Zhang Ling himself appeared completely unaware of the online speculation. He continued participating in the event naturally, laughing and interacting with everyone around him. Tian Xiwei also remained professional throughout the appearance. She joined conversations, smiled at the audience, and continued supporting the activities on stage. Yet, whenever she and Zhang Ling happened to look at each other, fans immediately became excited. Their natural reactions together created the impression of a comfortable familiarity. At one point, Zhang Ling turned toward Tian Xiwei after hearing something from another guest. Their eyes briefly met, and both appeared to smile. That tiny exchange became another favorite moment for viewers. Some fans felt that it completely changed the mood after the earlier interaction. The audience was clearly enjoying every second. Cheers became louder whenever Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei appeared close together. The female guest continued participating in the event as well, and there was no indication that anything serious had happened. Everything remained friendly and professional. Nevertheless, the internet had already created its own story. Fans began discussing whether Tian Xiwei's expression was simply a playful reaction or something more personal. Some viewers pointed out that celebrities often experience countless unexpected situations on stage. Standing close to another performer does not automatically mean there is romantic interest. Others argued that Tian Xiwei's expression was simply too perfectly timed to ignore. They believed her brief reaction looked different from her usual cheerful mood. The debate quickly became part of the entertainment surrounding the event. Rather than creating conflict, it gave fans another memorable moment to discuss. Zhang Ling remained focused on the event and continued interacting warmly with everyone. His relaxed behavior suggested that he was not worried about how the moment might be interpreted. Tian Xiwei also appeared comfortable afterward. She continued smiling and participating normally, showing no obvious signs of genuine discomfort. That is perhaps what made the moment so fascinating. There was no dramatic confrontation, no angry reaction, and no direct statement, only a few seconds that fans interpreted in completely different ways. For longtime followers of Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei, these subtle moments often become more memorable than carefully planned interactions. Their public chemistry has repeatedly attracted attention because their expressions and reactions can feel spontaneous. Even when nothing unusual happens, fans closely observe their body language. During this event, however, the attention shifted toward Tian Xiwei for a change. Instead of focusing only on Zhang Ling, viewers became curious about her reaction. Was she actually jealous? There is simply no confirmed answer. Only Tian Xiwei knows exactly what she was thinking at that moment. It is also possible that she was simply reacting to something happening on stage. A short facial expression can have many explanations, especially during a live event surrounded by cameras and thousands of people. Still, fans naturally enjoy imagining different possibilities. The playful, jealousy theory quickly became one of the most entertaining interpretations of the night. Meanwhile, Zhang Ling continued smiling as if nothing unusual had happened. His calm attitude helped keep the entire event friendly and relaxed. Eventually, the stage returned to its normal rhythm. The guests continued their activities, the audience continued cheering, and the cameras moved between different performers. But that brief moment had already been captured forever. Fans later replayed the footage, zooming in on Tian Xiwei's expression and Zhang Linghe's reaction. Every tiny movement suddenly seemed meaningful. Some fans laughed about the situation, while others simply enjoyed the chemistry between the stars. Many agreed that the moment was entertaining precisely because nothing was officially confirmed. The event also reminded viewers that celebrities can have ordinary, spontaneous reactions just like anyone else. Not every smile, glance, or change in expression necessarily hides a secret message. What mattered most was that everyone remained respectful and professional throughout the appearance. By the end of the event, Tian Xiwei looked cheerful again, and Zhang Ling continued greeting the audience with his familiar smile. The earlier tension had completely disappeared, leaving behind only a memorable clip that fans would undoubtedly continue discussing. Whether Tian Xiwei was jealous or simply caught in a funny stage moment remains a mystery. There is no reliable confirmation that she felt romantic jealousy toward Zhang Ling. And perhaps that uncertainty is exactly why the moment became so fascinating. Fans love stories filled with unexpected glances, tiny reactions, and unanswered questions. This particular stage moment delivered all three within just a few seconds. Zhang Linghe's calm reaction, the guest's unexpectedly close position, and Tian Xiwei's brief change of expression created a scene that felt almost like something from a romantic drama. But unlike a scripted drama, real life does not provide a narrator explaining what every character is thinking. That leaves fans to interpret the moment for themselves while remembering that speculation should not be treated as fact. In the end, the event remained a successful and entertaining appearance, filled with smiles, cheers, and unforgettable interactions. And as the lights faded from the stage, one question continued to echo across social media: was Tian Xiwei really jealous, or was it simply another perfectly timed moment that made fans' imaginations run wild? Whatever the truth may be, the mysterious reaction certainly gave everyone something to talk about, and it proved once again why even the smallest Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei moment can capture so much attention. As the event continued, the atmosphere gradually became more relaxed, but the audience had not forgotten what had happened moments earlier. Zhang Ling remained focused on the program, occasionally turning toward the other guests and exchanging friendly smiles. Tian Xiwei stood nearby, appearing calm and composed, although fans continued watching her every reaction. The host soon introduced another activity that required the celebrities to stand closer together. Everyone moved into position while the audience became increasingly excited. When Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei ended up standing beside each other again, the crowd immediately responded with loud cheers. Tian Xiwei smiled and briefly looked toward Zhang Ling. He noticed her and smiled back, creating another warm moment between them. The two exchanged a few quiet words that could not be heard clearly by the audience. Whatever they said seemed to make Tian Xiwei laugh. That small interaction quickly changed the atmosphere. The earlier tension suddenly felt like a distant memory. Fans began joking that Zhang Ling had somehow managed to make Tian Xiwei smile again without saying anything dramatic. The host noticed the chemistry between the two and continued the activity without interrupting them. Zhang Ling appeared comfortable around Tian Xiwei, occasionally glancing in her direction as the event progressed. Tian Xiwei also seemed increasingly relaxed, laughing with the other guests and enjoying the atmosphere. At one point, the female guest who had stood close to Zhang Ling earlier returned to the group. The audience immediately became curious about Tian Xiwei's reaction. This time, however, Tian Xiwei simply smiled and continued participating normally. That made some fans wonder whether the earlier, jealousy, interpretation had been exaggerated. Others still believed that her first reaction had been genuine, even if only for a brief second. The discussion became less about proving jealousy and more about appreciating the unpredictable chemistry visible on stage. Zhang Ling appeared completely focused on entertaining the audience. His playful expressions occasionally caused everyone around him to laugh. Tian Xiwei laughed as well, and the comfortable atmosphere between the two became obvious again. The host then asked the celebrities to pose together for photographs. Everyone moved closer, creating another series of memorable pictures. When Zhang Ling ended up beside Tian Xiwei, both smiled toward the cameras. Fans immediately began sharing screenshots of the pose online. Some viewers said that the earlier awkwardness had completely disappeared, while others jokingly claimed that Zhang Ling had returned to his usual position. Of course, these comments were playful fan interpretations rather than confirmed facts. The celebrities themselves continued behaving professionally without addressing the online speculation. As the photographers counted down, Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei looked toward the cameras at the same time. The resulting photograph captured both of them smiling naturally. It quickly became one of the most talked about images from the event. Fans noticed that despite all the speculation surrounding the earlier moment, both stars appeared perfectly comfortable together. That seemed to reassure many viewers who had been wondering whether there had actually been any tension. The event eventually moved toward its closing segment. The host thanked all the guests and invited everyone to give one final greeting to the audience. Zhang Ling waved enthusiastically, while Tian Xiwei smiled and bowed politely. The crowd responded with enormous cheers. Before leaving the stage, the two happened to walk in the same direction for a few seconds. They exchanged another quick smile before separating to greet different parts of the audience. For fans, those final seconds felt like a quiet ending to an unexpectedly dramatic stage moment. The internet continued discussing the clip long after the event ended. Some fans insisted that Tian Xiwei's expression had been adorable, while others believed it was simply a normal reaction that had been misunderstood. There were also viewers who praised fans for keeping the discussion playful rather than turning it into unnecessary conflict. After all, celebrities can stand beside different people, laugh with different guests, and interact naturally without those moments automatically carrying romantic meaning. The most reasonable conclusion was that nobody outside the stars themselves could know what Tian Xiwei was actually thinking. Nevertheless, the moment had created plenty of excitement among viewers. It became another example of how quickly a few seconds on a live stage can become an internet sensation. Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei continued with their schedules, seemingly unaffected by the speculation surrounding them. For fans, however, the memory remained unforgettable. The close interaction, Tian Xiwei's brief expression, Zhang Linghe's calm reaction, and their later smiles created a complete little story within one event. Whether it was jealousy, surprise, amusement, or simply a random stage reaction, the moment gave everyone something to talk about. And perhaps that is what makes live events so fascinating. Unlike scripted scenes, nobody knows exactly what will happen.